So when she came back to the house, and then she said, "What's your assignment?" And I brought it here, and she read the whole thing. And after she was done reading the thing, she was like, "Oh, this is good." And I was like, "Yes, this is what I believe the world will look like." And I asked her a question. I said, "Will human beings still be important?" I still remember that question. And that question still holds relevance today. Will human beings be important in the future? Think about it. You think you still be important in the future? Well, what I want you to understand, that's why I'm happy that the other speaker, SL, brought this up. But he spoke about the fact that technology is not a complex scope that like most of us understand it to be. Technology is simply anything that people invent that makes life easier, better, and faster. Okay? And so when a hammer was made in those times, when the very first time that they made a hammer, when people saw the hammer, they were like, "Oh my God!" This is the most, how many of you were excited when you first used ChatGPT or any generative AI? You put the thing here and you're like, "Wow, this is amazing." That's what happened when they first saw a hammer. They're like, "Oh my God, there is a metal stuck to something, and now if I hammer, wow." Or maybe a nail clipper. All of a sudden, people are amazed. The person who invented it at the time was a god. Trust me. And so, technology, any technology that is invented in its dispensation always has a wow factor. Okay? And so, it's the same thing that we're experiencing with AI. AI, or any technology as a matter of fact, is only a tool. Okay? And the moment you become scared of using technology, you automatically become a fool. Should I say that? Should I say that? Should I say that? Okay? Technology is a tool. And the moment you become scared of technology, you automatically become a fool. And so what we are supposed to do is this. We are supposed to then embrace technology and use it as a tool for change. And that's where the entire human factor comes into play. Okay. Thank you. So the world has changed and it keeps on changing. And so what we need to do right now is that we need to understand what the future of work holds for us. Okay? We need to understand what the future of work holds for us. Now, I'm a public speaker, I'm a full-time public speaker. I go around training companies, I go around training staff with people. I'm a human capital development expert. And so I deal with a lot of people. I train some top organizations and I train some top leaders in different fields. And I've done a lot of speaking engagements. Now, the thing is this, I get to interact with a lot of people, and I get to, my work involves a lot of research, and so I kind of have to understand what we need to do in order to be able to survive in the future of work. And so there was a study from 1918 from Harvard, okay, and the Carnegie Foundation, and it found that technical skills, okay, only contribute to 15% of job success, while soft skills contribute to 85% of job success. Now, for clarification, the soft skills are the forever skills that I'm talking about. And you see, what are technical skills? Technical skills are simply the specific abilities that you use to perform a particular task, probably using a software, a tool, or an equipment. Okay, that's what is a technical skill. And a soft skill is basically your personal attributes that you basically just exercise in order to be able to survive, or it basically enables you to be able to work better or thrive better. And so 15% of the technical skills, for example, if you are a coder and you're going to code in probably Python, that's the technical skills of particular ability or specific ability. And it only contributes to 15% of your job success. Just imagine. You see, the thing is this, your technical skills will get you inside a job or will get you a job, but will never keep you inside of the job. Okay? What keeps you is something called soft skills. Somebody say soft skills. Okay. And it contributes to 85% of your job success. So, what I want you to do is this. First of all, just so that you are able to then understand what soft skills are, I want you to think of soft skills as how you work, and think of technical skills as what you can do. So if somebody asks you, what can you do? Most of the time they're asking about your technical skills. But if somebody asks you, so how are you at work? Most of the time you're talking about how you are in terms of your personality, in terms of how you're able to cooperate with others. That's what we call the soft skills. Okay? And so the whole thing is this. Can we all say this? Technical skills are temporary, the soft skills are forever. Can we say this? Technical skills are temporary, soft skills are forever. And so soft skills are what I call the forever skills. And so it's with that I want to be able to teach you the 3 most critical soft skills that you need to be able to survive or gain an advantage in the tech-enabled world. And it's what I call the SS Trinity. SS simply stands for soft skills, but it also stands for smart survival. It also stands for sustainable success. Why do I say smart survival? Because we are living in a time whereby some people are scared that AI is going to take their jobs. So how can you be able to survive smartly? Or how can we be able to create success that is sustaining? And so that is what the SS Trinity is for. It's a 3-part formula, or it's a 3-part thing that I teach people as to the 3 main soft skills that you need to learn. Now, there are a lot of soft skills, okay? There are so many different soft skills that you can always learn or easily develop to be able to thrive in the workplace. But there are 3 of them. And these are the 3 that is going to make you indispensable, trust me. Now let's break this down briefly, okay? First of all, I'll start with communication, and I chose this as the first one because I'm a home experience, so I'm being biased. Now there are 2 types. Before I even go there, okay? Now the thing is this, right? Each of these 3 skills, all right, have different functions. Each of these 3 skills have different functions. Communication is simply for connecting, right? So your ability to connect is what communication is. Then creativity is your ability to create. And then emotional intelligence is your ability to be able to care. So 3 C's. Communication will help you to what? Connect. Creativity will help you to what? Create. Emotional intelligence will help you to what? Care. Alright? So connect. Say that after me. Connect. Create. Care. 3 things. And so that is what the SS Trinity is all about. So let's just break this down. Briefly. Communication. Now, when you think about communication, most people just limit communication to a particular scope. But communication comes in 2 forms. There is something we call one-to-one communication, something called one-to-many communication. And this is what is going to help you to be able to stand out in the job market, or whether in the future of work, especially with AI and all of these automations and technology replacing all of the technical skills. I mean, now you can just type. I know a lot of people who used to be copywriters, okay? They used to actually charge for writing copies on websites and all of that. Now, with AI, you can be one of the best copywriters in the world. All you need to do is just put in a beautiful, nice prompt, and you have it done. Even now, I remember there was this time, one of the graphic designers in the company, she was supposed to do a particular flyer for me. And I couldn't get her. All I did was that I put it on the generative AI and literally just got me a flyer that I needed. Literally. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. It's taking her job small. So if she's useless, it might probably take her job away. And so that's the importance of the whole thing, is that soft skills are the things that AI or automations or emerging technologies cannot take away from you. That's why they are the forever skills. And so there are 2 types of communication, one-to-one, one-to-many. So one-to-many is what we call public speaking. It's one of the things that you want to be able to learn, because there's one thing is this. Human beings are the ones going to create the technologies that are going to create and shape the future. Okay? And how, when you create something like that, you are supposed to be able to help humans to be able to understand the importance, okay, of that technology, so that they can understand how it creates an advantage in their lives. Okay? And so that's what communication does for you. It gives you the ability to be able to communicate or to be able to connect that importance of that technology to the human essence. And so that's what communication is about. Let me move away from that. So one thing that you want to do is that you want to be able to master communication. You want to be able to master one-to-one communication, how you're able to talk with one another. You want to be able to learn how to be able to then use very polite language, or use something I call collective language. If you're a leader here, one of the easiest tips for you is that you want to use something called collective language. There's a difference between collective language and individual language. Collective language is when, for example, if I'm trying to instruct somebody to do something, one lead should have. Instead of saying, please, can you do this? I'll say, can we do something about this? These are some of the little things that AI sometimes will not understand. And communication, when you master this, you have this empathy that comes with that. Let's move on to creativity. Creativity is the thing that you need to be able to create stuff. Okay, if you want to be able to keep the future of what goal, you need to be able to start creating things, or you need to be able to create things. And creativity is what helps us do this. Now, the thing is this: most people think of creativity and when they think of creativity, they think of this one thing. Creativity is all about thinking outside of the box. Now, that's not the only thing that creativity is about. Creativity is not just about thinking outside of the box. It's not just about thinking outside of the box and also making do with what's inside of the box. And also, even creating a box where the box is not there. That is what creativity is. So creativity is not just thinking out of the box, it's the ability to think out of the box, inside the box, and even create the box when the box is not there. That is what creativity is, and that is what's going to shape our future. And it's a soft skill that you need to be able to learn, but there are ways to be able to sharpen your creativity. Now let's move on to emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, I saw this research the other time because of my work, and now 58% of overall job success literally comes from emotional intelligence, according to Ames International. And so the whole thing is this: if you want to be able to survive in the workplace, if you want to survive in the future of work, you're going to be working with people, no matter what, because technology is a tool. No matter what you're doing, technology is just, you're going to be working with other humans. As one other speaker said, it's about collaboration, not competition. So you're not competing with the technology. You're going to be collaborating with the technology to be able to advance the frontiers of work. And so emotional intelligence is what gives us the ability to be able to understand the emotions of other people. Now, you may underrate it until you go on into your office and then your boss tells you something nasty and then you're angry and then you don't know what to do. You just maybe, I don't know, slap your boss or do something bad. Okay? How many of you have ever gotten angry at one of your fellow workers or fellow mates in group work or something like that? How many of you? Right? Angry. Okay? Everybody. Right? If you don't add your name to the list. Right? Now that's what's for emotional intelligence. You need to be able to understand sometimes, you need to be able to develop that empathy. And that's what's going to help you actually thrive. So these are the three things: communication, creativity, emotional intelligence. And once you have these three things, you'll be able to then be indispensable in the future of life. I'll just say this, especially just add one more point to the communication. You see, there's something called the Tower of Babel. How many of you might have heard that? Okay. Now, the Tower of Babel shows why communication, I believe, is one of the top goals of all of these things. And the whole thing is this: in the Tower of Babel, they were building this whole big tower. And while they were building the tower, they were building it and they were successful. However, one thing happened to them. There was a switch in their language. And all of a sudden, they couldn't build it again. That means that once there's a switch in communication, when communication goes off, we cannot be able to create the future of work. Because once the language changed, they couldn't build it because now we can't communicate to be able to build that tower. It's the same thing. How can we be able to create and build the kind of future that we want? We need communication, and that talks it all for this for the SS Trinity. Soft Skills Trinity, Smart Survival Trinity, or you call it the Sustainable Success Trinity. You know how it goes. And that's what we have for you. So, thank you. Once you have this, you're going to be indispensable. Thank you. My name is Paa Kwesi Folson.